I found the first note under my windshield wipers at 6 in the morning. A sheet of paper, handwritten. 3 words. He is still alive. I didn't know who it was about. I didn't know who left it. I didn't even know if it was meant for me. But I'm a detective, and I did what detectives do. I started looking. My name is Marco. 15 years in private investigations. In that time, I've seen everything. Or thought I had. I ran the car. The note. The paper. The handwriting. Nothing. Then I checked the parking lot cameras. The camera pointed at my car had not been recording from midnight to 6 in the morning. Technical failure. That's what it says in the log. The failure lasted exactly 6 hours. Started at midnight. Ended at 6 o'clock. A programmed failure. Someone planned this in advance. Her name is Alia. She doesn't know she's part of this story. 3 weeks ago, she filed a missing persons report on her husband. Police closed the case within 72 hours. Voluntary departure. Adult male. No signs of a crime. She didn't believe it. She called me yesterday morning, 1 hour before I found the note. I didn't know yet that those two things were connected. Her husband is Sergey, mid-level manager. Quiet life. No enemies. No debts. No reasons to disappear. But a week before he vanished, he said one thing to her. If I don't come back, don't look for me. Look for whoever came instead of me. She didn't understand then. I didn't understand when she told me. But I wrote it down. 9 months ago, a man died in this city. An accident. Fell from the roof of a residential building. Alcohol in his blood. Open verdict. His name was Denis Karpenko. 42 years old. Accountant. I wasn't on that case. I hadn't even heard that name until this morning. Until I opened the database and ran the name of the man who disappeared. Sergey. Sergey and Denis worked at the same company. During the same period. Both quit in the same month. Denis died 3 months after leaving. Sergey disappeared 6 months after that. I opened Denis's case file. Photos from the scene. Standard protocol. And in one of the photos, in the background, blurred, but there, a man standing near the building exit looking up. Not at the body. Up, toward where Denis fell from. The face is unclear. But one detail is clear. He is smiling. The company is called Arca Logistics. Officially, Freight and Warehouse Logistics. I started digging after I found the connection between Sergey and Denis. Registration documents. Founder, an individual. Name, Valentin Stets. I ran the name. Valentin Stets died 11 years ago. Officially, heart failure. Buried in Kharkiv. There is a grave. There is a death certificate. But the company was registered in his name 7 years ago. For years after his official death. Someone is using a dead man as a business owner. And this business is somehow connected to 2 people, one dead, one missing. And to the note under my windshield wipers. I laid everything out on the table. For lines. For points. And one question that kept me from sleeping. The note said, he is still alive. If Sergey is alive, where is he and why isn't he coming back? If Denis is alive, then who fell from that roof? If Valentin is alive, then he is either brilliant or very dangerous. Or all 3 are true at the same time. I drove to the Arca Logistics office at 9 in the evening. Dark windows. Locked doors. No cars in the parking lot. But in the far window on the 2nd floor, a small light. Like from a phone or tablet. Someone was inside. I photographed the building and went back to my car. On the seat was a new sheet of paper. Same handwriting. 2 words. Get out. I didn't get out. I called Alia and asked one thing. Your husband, did he have any tattoos? A pause. Then, yes. One. On his left wrist. An anchor. I opened the photo from Denis's death scene. Zoomed in on the hand of the man smiling near the exit. Left wrist. An anchor. That was Sergey. Sergey was present when Denis died. And now Sergey has disappeared. I went back to the first note. He is still alive. Not Sergey. I understood that only now. Denis. The person who fell from that roof was not Denis Karpenko. Someone else fell. And Denis is alive. And hiding. And knows something about a company registered to a dead man. And someone, possibly Denis himself, slipped that note under my wipers. Because he can't come to me openly. Because he is being watched. The next morning, I found an address through the old method. I drove to the building Denis supposedly fell from and talked to the concierge. An old woman, 70 years old, remembers everything. She said that evening she saw 2 men going up to the roof. One she recognized, the other she didn't. Dark coat, average height, and she remembered one detail. He had no shadow, she said. I didn't understand. The lighting in the hallway. A lamp overhead. Everyone has a shadow. He didn't. He knew where the cameras were. He knew where the lights were. He moved so as not to leave a shadow on any recording. This was not a random person. This was a professional. That same evening I got a call from an unknown number. A man's voice. Calm. Almost indifferent. You found enough to have you removed. And not enough to protect yourself. I said, who are you? Valentine Stetz, he said, and hung up. I sat with that until 3 in the morning. Valentine Stetz is alive. Or someone is using that name. Sergei witnessed the death of Dennis, or what looked like his death. Dennis is alive and trying to pass something to me. And someone very professional is watching all of us at the same time. One company. One dead man who didn't die. One missing man who didn't go anywhere. And one business owner who officially doesn't exist among the living. For lines. And all of them lead to one point. To the man who knows how to leave no shadow. The next morning there was a third sheet under my wipers. This time not words. An address. And a time. 2300 hours. I went. A warehouse on the edge of the city. Dark. Quiet. The door open. Inside a man sat at a table looking at me. I didn't know his face, but I knew the tattoo on his left wrist. An anchor. Dennis Karpenko looked up and said quietly, they think I'm dead. That's the only thing keeping me alive. And now you know I'm alive. So you have exactly as much time left as I do. He placed a folder on the table. Everything is in there. What they're moving. Where. To whom. And how many people have already disappeared the same way I was supposed to disappear. I took the folder, opened the first page, and understood why Valentine Stetz is still alive. Dead men don't get asked questions. Their accounts aren't checked. Their movements aren't tracked. The best place to run everything from is to be officially dead. This was never a logistics company. I called a journalist I trusted, passed the folder, called Alia and told her Sergei was alive and where to find him. Called the prosecutor's office and gave one name, Valentine Stetz. Then I sat in my car, and for the first time in a week I breathed. On the passenger seat was a fourth sheet of paper. Same handwriting. One word. Too late.